Today, we are going to present the study of the influence of the latest technology on students. Our group member is Nur Idina Izla, Nabila Syafiqah, Muhammad Najmi Aiman, Muzani, Muhammad Nabil Zaidan, and Muhammad Tarish Al-Qadasi. For the introduction, the background and justification. As technology evolves constantly, school must adapt by adding additional technology and blending it into student instruction. Technology has potential to enhance student learning and disrupt the educational process. The internet is a lifesaver for students despite the risk of fraud and other issues. Students that rely on the internet can find incredible inconvenience as well as the variety of tutor and other resources that can help them study and succeed academically. In this project, UTHM students were pulled together opinion on how technology affect their classroom. This study contribute to our understanding of how technology affects student learning. The result indicate that for effective implementation, educator and student need greater training. And the next slide is deficiency in evidence. There is evidence that technology facilitate the information of new connection and hence learning. There is also evidence that no learning can occur. Poorly planned programs with no instructional foundation, casual purposeless uses of technology in the classroom, and a lack of alignment between target learning objective and the use of educational technology all jeopardize the success of any learning by technology venture. The article analyzed how classroom technology such as iPad, internet connection, computer, and social media has negative impact on education. Relevant research has shown that technology can negatively impact education in four ways: worsening student reading and writing abilities, dehumanizing educational environment, altering social connection between teacher and student, and isolating individual when used. And the next slide is the problem statement. The first problem statement is technology may assist the teacher in enhancing student performance, a goal which they have. And the next one is the use of technology in the classroom should also facilitate educator tasks without adding to their daily workload. Technology offers students quick access to knowledge, rapid learning, and enjoyable chance. Students can interact with one another throughout lesson in addition to engaging with teacher via educational technology. Students also can seek more assistance on concepts that are challenging to comprehend as well as express questions about the classroom. This study has taken place to ensure that students are well aware of the type of technology that are being implemented in academic nowadays. We want to study how the latest technology affect the studies and academic performance. The next one is the project question. This is the project questionnaire screenshot. And this one is the respondent demographic. This one is the understanding screenshot. And this one is the effective implementation. And the last one is the advantages. And for the hypothesis, introduction of research hypothesis. A research hypothesis is a declaration of what is anticipated to happen during a scientific investigation. A statement possess the three characteristics of specialty, testability, and falsifiability in order to qualify as a legitimate research hypothesis. A hypothesis is a theory or justification for something based on established facts but not yet proven. It will enable researchers to make a judgment on the collect data. And the alternative hypothesis. An alternative hypothesis is a theory that conflict with the null hypothesis and take a different position from the null. For instance, the alternative hypothesis will predict something to be untrue if the null hypothesis estimated it to be true. It states that the findings are important in terms of bolstering the study and the investigation and that they are not expected to alter. And next one is the significance level. The significance level is the fixed chance of incorrectly eliminating the null hypothesis when it is really true. The statistical significance is measured by the degree of significance. It specifies whether or not the null hypothesis is thought to be true by comparing the p-value to your significance threshold. During hypothesis testing, you may determine which hypothesis the data support. The significant level it represents as and in this project we use the value of significance level equal to 0.005. And the conclusion from the hypothesis, from the analysis on our project, we can infer that the null hypothesis will be proven false due to the analysis p-value being less than 0.001, which is below the significant level. There is sufficient data to draw the conclusion that the mean of the general question study of the influence of the latest technology on the student is the same. That's all from me. Thank you.
Next is Chapter 3 Methodology. In this chapter, we have three contents for methodology. First is introduction of methodology. Second is method of data gathering. And lastly, method of data analysis. The first one is the introduction of methodology. Methodology is the process of gathering and analyzing data to create statistics that support a study. Methodology specifies the different types of communication strategies to use with the research. There are two types of the research, which is quantitative and qualitative. Next is method of gathering. Our research methodology use a quantitative approach with survey that are sent via Google Form and are question based. This approach was chosen because first, the effective organizational structure and follow a linear pattern. Next is simple and has explicit scheduling. And lastly, result focus. Quantitative survey method is also applied because quantitative approach has a more objective focus. The questionnaire we use and is in the form of Google Form has 15 questions to elicit the respondent's perfection of the study objective. Next is method of data analysis. The form we randomly distributed to use 100 respondents in the study area. 100 questionnaires were distributed based on two parts, which is part A, demographic of respondent, and part B, students' level of understanding of latest technologies. Part A consists of name, gender, age, and race and religion and level of education. Part B consists of understanding, effective implementation, and advantage of latest technology.
Now let's talk about Chapter 4 Result. First, data preparation. First, we create a new file and set the decimal value to 0 to prepare the data. The variable names are then all inserted in accordance with our Google Form surveys, as shown in this figure. Second, data screening. Data screening, as seen in the graphic below, is used to determine whether there is any missing data from the data collection. The outcome of screening for missing data is shown in the figure below. We can observe from the table that there is no missing data. As a result, we do not need to retrieve any missing values. Frequency table. Tables below show the frequency for every variable calculated in the questionnaire. So as you see in these figures, gender, age, race, religion, and level of education. Data transformation. To average the data from the asked question, data transformation is required. The graphic below shows the average respondents from the three questions parts were calculated. The figure below shows the result obtained from the data transformation performed. Normality analysis. Normality tests are used to determine whether or not the data is regularly distributed. These figures represent the normality analysis. And as you see, figure 4.5.1 represent our result of reliability. Correlation. The figure below shows the way that we did to obtain the relationship between the understanding, effective, and advantage. This is our result of correlations. Finally is regression. The figure below shows the way to obtain the linear regression. In this figure, our regression for the variable entered or removed.
For the last chapter, which is chapter 5, conclusion. The conclusion is, the finding of this study show that there are many positive and negative aspects of technology used for students. Moving forward, teachers would benefit from more personal training on implementing the technology for students so that they feel more comfortable with the inclusion of technology.